muscle moves, but the muscles do always attach to two bones because muscles are going to help move. Your muscles are always pulling, so there's always two attachment points. You guys are actually lucky in lab. We don't make you learn the insertion point and the origin of your muscles, along with just make you name them, but a lot of A&P programs make you know where the muscle is inserted and where the origin is. So the difference is the origin would be the bone that's not moving. So in this case, this would be the humerus. Hopefully you recognize that that's your bicep brachia there. And then the bone that is moving here, what bone is that? Can y'all tell by that bone right there?
Ulna.
That's the ulna. So the insertion point is the bone that the muscle's going to pull on. So the muscle pulls this one up. This one's said to be immovable. So when this bone moves, it's not that muscle that's moving it. That muscle, the biceps, is moving that upward. So origin and insertion. We'll come back to those terms when we talk about some of the movements that go on in chapter 11, because I do pull a little bit of chapter 11. I say chapter 10 to this test, but it's a little bit of chapter 11 as well. And so then we go into what I was showing, that epimyosin, which again is going around that muscle group, does become the tendon, or it can become the aponeurosis. And so they're technically the same thing. I say an aponeurosis is basically just a flat tendon. So if it's cord-like, it's called a tendon, like your Achilles tendon there, and we've got them all in our wrist and things like that. If it's more flat, then it's called an aponeurosis. And you guys that have been in lab or even looking online and looking at those little pictures, all that gray stuff that you're seeing on that model, like on the skull, that's an aponeurosis, basically holding the frontalis and the occipitalis onto the bone. So it still does the same function that a tendon does. The only difference is the aponeurosis is more flat, sheet-like, and the tendon itself is more cord-like. So on the bottom of your foot, you have an aponeurosis that sometimes will contract up or spasm up, and that's where that plantar fasciitis comes from. So because of that fascia going on, because it is the epimyosin there. So this thing will spasm. That's why we have to roll the ball on our foot or do those exercises to help stretch that technically flat tendon back out. So after you sit for a while, it tends to tense up there. So aponeurosis.